Africa is probably the most diverse continent on Earth. You will genuinely find everything under the sun in this continent. Okay, you won't find snow or extreme cold or anything to do with that, but you'll find everything else under the sun in this continent. Growing up in Africa has probably been my biggest blessing. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I don't want to live anywhere else. I don't want my children to live anywhere else. Africa is truly a beautiful continent. One thing about growing up in Africa is that no matter how good your situation is, you're always one step away from poverty. And I don't mean that in the sense like, you're one mistake away from poverty. I mean that outside your door, there's poverty there. Outside your door, there's someone living there who has nothing. And you're always constantly reminded that some people have nothing. And I wouldn't say this is a bad thing, but it's built a scarcity mindset in us. Most Africans, maybe even most people, but this is focused on Africans. Most Africans have a scarcity mindset. They're always focusing on taking, because they don't know when they'll get. They don't know when they'll next receive. And I'm not bashing anyone who has a scarcity mindset. I've had a scarcity mindset for most of my life. And now I'm shifting into an abundance mindset. And this scarcity mindset has stopped us from achieving a lot of things. You see, most of the media we consume as Western media is controlled by like the States, the UK, Australia, all these countries, right? So what we see, when we see successes on these platforms, we see Elon Musk, we see that American 20-year-old millionaire who's doing amazing things, we see that teenage millionaire from the UK. We see so many people succeeding, we see all of them, but then all of them are from Western countries. All of them are, he's American, he's Canadian, he's this, he's that. We see Jeff Bezos creating Amazon, probably one of the best entrepreneurial, TJ! Probably one of the best business works of all time. We see people doing extraordinary things. Whatever it may be, whatever it is that motivates you. You've probably seen someone achieving it from the States, from Europe, from Canada. You've probably seen someone achieving it or striving towards it, not letting society's constraints hold them back. And maybe this is because of our media, or maybe it's the truth, but we very rarely see Africans doing the same things. Africans striving to change the whole world. We rarely see it. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know whether it's because the media is controlled by the Western countries. And I have to say this, I'm not trying to bash any Western countries, I'm just trying to say this for the betterment of Africa. So yeah, we rarely see Africans doing sensational things. And for some odd reason, we look at the Europeans doing this, we look at the South Americans, or we look at the North Americans, the people from America, from California. We see them doing all these amazing things. We see them defying society's expectations. But for some odd reason, we don't believe we can do the same. We don't believe that we have the same capabilities as all these people we see on the TV, all these people who we see trying to send people to Mars, creating Amazon. We believe that we don't have the same capabilities. We subconsciously think that we don't deserve the wealth, we don't deserve the luxury that these people have. We think that we're not worthy to live the lives they live. We think that we're not worthy to achieve the same things as them, and they're somehow better than us. See, no one will ever admit this consciously, but subconsciously, that belief is there. And I don't know where it came from. I don't know whether it can be a deep-rooted thing, but I have honestly no idea where it came from. All I do know is that for majority of Africans, we don't believe ourselves. We don't believe we can achieve these great things. So what I'm about to say will probably appeal to maybe 1%, 2% of Africans. But if I can appeal to the 1 or 2%, then my work here is done. Aren't you tired of seeing all these people achieve great things? Aren't you tired of only seeing Europeans win, of only seeing people from North America win? Aren't you tired of seeing people who aren't you win? Aren't you tired of reading the success stories of a 17-year-old from London? Aren't you tired of the pedestal that's been put on the first world, on the Western countries? I'm going to tell you a blatant truth. You are no different to these guys. You are no different to the people you see on the internet. You're not. Anything that you can see, anything that you can conceive in your mind, you can achieve it. And people will be like, conceive, believe, achieve, and they'll be like, that's BS. I promise you it's not. There's absolutely no difference between you and the people you see on CNN or Sky Sports. So when will you decide that enough is enough and it's time that you write your own story? You write your story of great achievement, of great success. When will you decide to stop making excuses, to stop letting those foolish and stupendous, stupendous beliefs govern your life. When will you stop aiming for average or just above average? You know, that safe, comfortable job. When will you stop aiming for that and start aiming for extraordinary? To be the best in the world, not just, I'm the best in my city. When will you start aiming for the stars? When will you start being realistic and doing what your heart desires? When will you stop justifying someone else's success and not yours? Saying, he's an outlier. Not everyone can be an outlier. Let me ask you something. Who says you can't be an outlier? Who says you can't do those extraordinary things? Maybe your parents told you that. Maybe your friends told you that. Maybe even all your teachers told you that. But they know nothing. It's the same thing that's in Jeff Bezos. It's the same thing that's in you. And you may not succeed in the same area. Jeff Bezos may be the best entrepreneur. But then you may be the best at, creative work. Understand that you were made in the image of God. And I don't completely know what that means. All I know is that I was made in the image of the creator of all of this, the creator of this universe. So recognize that you have something unique in you. You have something to offer the world. So when are you going to get off your bum and actually work towards offering it? Work towards fulfilling all the potential that God has given you. My hope is that you will do all of this after this video. My hope is that this video will inspire you to finally drop all the excuses, to drop all the justifications for someone else's success, and start working towards your own. And most of my focus on this video has been on the individual, you watching this. My vision is that 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe even 200 years from now, I just want someone to look at Africa and see a continent of winners, to see a continent of people striving towards excellence. I want Africa to be the embodiment of excellence. And the fact that I can imagine it means it's possible. You may have your limiting beliefs. You may have things holding you back. But the truth is we can do it. The only way that Africa can come out on top, the only way that we can improve this beautiful and lovely continent is if you do the work. Because all great changes start on an individual level. We learn from chemistry, physics, I don't know which one it is, but all these big structures that we see, in them exist thousands, millions of small atoms. So the reason why I'm focusing on the individual, which is you, is because if you sort yourself out, if you genuinely work towards fulfilling your potential, who knows who you inspire? And then those people who you inspire will inspire more people. And before you know it, we'll all compound into a continent that is on top of the world, a continent that is full of excellence, a continent that is called Africa. Because you know what, we're not meant to be at the bottom. With all the diversity we have, we're not meant to be the place where people come, they get our resources and they go. This is truly a beautiful continent. And the only way we can do it justice is if each individual works to fulfilling their own potential. Africa has been in the shadows for too long. It's time that this continent becomes a continent of winners, of inventors, of innovators. It's time that this continent becomes an inspiration. It's time that we step out of the shadows and into the light. And the only way this will happen is if you devote yourself towards becoming the best version of yourself. And you may not think that, I'm just one person, I can't change everything. But let me leave you with something. Those who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who actually do it.